let me tell y'all how Claude is about to save me not just money, but it's going to save me time. I am working on decreasing our spend as we, burn money for different services and stuff because I want more valuable services. And I recently paid somebody to work on 100 programmatic pages for I'm sorry, for Triplanely. Triplanely is my new SEO tool for founders that I dropped. And like any other automation, things can go wrong. And I paid somebody to QA test another batch of 100 pages last week, and there was a lot of issues still left out. So I decided, well, you know what? Let's try AI. So I wrote a very plain prompt. I didn't put anything too specific yet, but I did put here, "Hi Claude, an SEO expert created these pages. Please review each, provide the issue on each page and how to improve. Put the acceptance criteria." Just, I was really simple. I'm not gonna lie. I could have been more detailed. Just kind of just trying to. I'm just playing around with it. But in the future, I am going to be more detailed. Now it's asking, how deep should the per page audit go? I've found the issues are a mix of template wide issues plus unique per page problems. So I think what I'll do is I'll put every page individually so that way the person can read the report and fix these issues. And then, yes, I'm going to put it in a spreadsheet and I'm going to let that run. But as you can see, I have Claude in the background right now, Claude Cowork to be exact, going through this SEO expert's work, making sure, and this is important to me because we don't have a 7-day trial, and I checked one page and it looks like, it said 7-day trial. You don't want to give misinformation about your app. So, like I said, I record these. My goal is to record these daily just to show you guys just part of the work that I'm doing to make sure that we're growing, directionally, because I did this programmatic SEO project because directionally I want us to have like 1,000 pages and then eventually 10,000 pages by end of summer. So that way by like end of year, we see the results that we're looking for. My goal is for each one of my apps to get at least 100,000 clicks per month and convert at a 2% rate. So if Plainly converts at a 2% rate and they get on the lowest tier of $19 a month, do the math. That's 2,000 people on a $20 a month platform. So that's 40K a month. But even if on the lowest end, let's say that 2,000 people signed up for a trial but didn't upgrade, maybe let's say only 500 people upgraded, that's still good money. That's still 9,500 a month from one app. So I'm playing around with building out this playbook of, here's how you distribute an app. Here's what you do for SEO. Here's what you do for content. Here's what you do for email marketing. Like, here's what you do for cold outreach and the transactional emails and the automations, etc. Like, I'm in this phase of figuring those things out, and it's so fun. But you can't skip processes like this. Like, at least make sure it's as good as possible. So when someone gives you 100 pages, you got to figure out a way to make sure you QA it. So I'm grateful for Claude because if I had to take the time to do it myself, I still would spot issues. And then if I paid somebody last week to do the same thing, and there still were issues outstanding. So keep that in mind. I do also have another project I'm doing with Gem. We're working on 1,000 pages right now, but it's a messy project because I did SEO so wrong when I first started out with Gem Social, and I'm grateful that I made these mistakes because that's why I built what I built. That's why I built Plainly, so that way I can grow directionally in the right way. So, anyways, this is running and fetching right now. I'm going to show you guys the results. All right, y'all. So this is the results that I got from the audit that I created with Claude. So it took just a reminder. It took 100 pages and went through each and every one of them, and then it provided me all of the problems that need to be provided back to the resource that we delegated this to. So it's not to say that he didn't do a good job. It's just at the end of the day, when people do work and they provide it to you, you need to have something in place to review it and provide the right acceptance criteria. So all in all, I'm really impressed with just Claude doing this. This didn't take much time at all. I mean, just a few minutes. I got to step away and come back, and this was already done. So I'm providing this file back to the resource that I delegated this to. I, of course, I'm taking my time to look at it, but even went and prioritized the recommended fixes and everything. It gave a per page audit, which I really appreciated, and the severity of the issue. It even broke down the specific issue, and that's just pretty impressive because I'm sorry, my human eye wouldn't have done this. Quite frankly, it just wouldn't have. Let's be honest. So imagine if you get really clear on the acceptance criteria, it probably will be even more detailed. So, that's just an example of how else you can use Claude Cowork. I'm a real big fan of Claude and how it's just been making my life easier and, to be honest, more efficient. So take a stab at it whenever you do a service like this.